Yo, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, bro.
Getting
Uh,
ready for Maine? I'm getting
y-
excited.
yeah. I'm trying to plan out my washes. I got 2 more wash days before I come up, so means
I
four
I'm
things.
watching
Trying to
I'm
decide what to
watching your
throw in.
stories. I see you like all like frustrated and like because like it's your last run and you've told yourself it's your last run and so like like you can't push things out so you're like fuck it I ran out of time I fucking am doing it this way like I'm not even taking them downstairs I'm flipping them up here like I could just see you all wrapping it all up like oh man I'm super
Yeah,
excited for the future.
fuck yeah. That's like so like those beds upstairs. It's basically 2 whole beds of Pop's Deuce, and then like one bed of mostly banana guava with a little southern hospitality, and then a whole nother bed of southern hospitality. It's gonna be fire.
Man, both of those were so nice. The the Pops Deuce, you got to enter in competition. Like that thing's a competition winner. And the Southern hospitality will sit you the fuck down. Like
Yeah.
Mikey makes hash like as a guy who can smoke, no problem, with the best of them. Like Mikey's hash, I need a minute between my dabs. Let's just say that. Like I need a hot fucking minute between my dabs. So yeah, no,
That's
that's awesome.
yeah, that Southern hospitality fucking crushes. Simple Adam was saying over there at the Spain thing that he was just at, man, that everything was fruit flavors. And he's like, we gotta get that Pops Deuce in there. Oh, fucking
100%.
Southern Crush.
100%. Let's see if Tom wants to jump on here. Man, I love Tom.
Yeah, he
Guys,
says you're a good guy.
guy's quiet, but when you get him talking, man, you're gonna learn something. You're gonna
Hmm.
learn something.
Yeah, I like his super sciencey approach. It's awesome.
Yeah. As that hash that he had too, I got like it was so cool. Terp Wizard took real good care of me and like slapped down. What up, Tom?
Oh, how's it going?
Good man.
It's happening, bub.
Yeah, I was
Chilling.
just saying how in Michigan, Terp Wizard came and like he dropped 40 different grams of like all of the homies hash from the Discord and was just like, here. And I'm like, oh man, this is amazing. He's like, yo, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna leave. And like he went and listened to the talks and he let me sit with that for 2 days. And I just sat with his terps, just smoking his head stash. Like it was
That's
just so cool. And that's when I got to try your hash plant, which was still I still like that's a special plant, a special resin.
definitely. That's mainly what I have on in my room right now, and I'll
Yeah,
be
you're
hard.
watching that soon, aren't you?
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I got my professor from school has a couple rooms of it.
That's dope. That's very dope. What up? What up?
Uh,
You getting packed and ready?
I'm trying to, man. Like we had we had dab trial night for sensory at work, so I brought all my gear into work and I dabbed everyone out, and I like just got back.
Still haven't made rezos for tomorrow for food.
No,
Still
no,
haven't packed up.
been a fucking
Guys
crazy.
slacking.
He's in the shower, so like trying to get all the bits covered. Uh,
Uh, so RJ's coming to Calgary tomorrow because on Saturday the local head shop here is doing the Elbow Glass Eric Mueller collab drop, the seamless drop. If you haven't seen that and you're a fan of Heady Glass, check it out. It's going to be insane. They haven't dropped all the pieces, but I think Mueller dropped a sneak peek of one. And the work on them is crazy. So we'll be in there checking out that work, and it'll be a ton of fun. So
I didn't realize that was up in Canada, man. That drop looks nuts.
yeah,
gonna
man. No, I'm
lit.
super stoked for it. Like Kynes flying in, and yeah,
Lit.
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna be there cleaning bangers for sure.
Yo, it's a sick shop. Like we got a little upstairs place in there, and post up, and they got a sick saltwater tank, and it's a good vibe. So
I'm stoked.
shout out to those boys.
Yeah. Today. So when we were doing our dab trials, I didn't bring any IPA in. Because I'm like I work at a fucking massive facility. I'm just gonna grab some cleaning supplies from work. So I grabbed like ethanol, and for the hot dunks, ethanol is like banging, like way fucking better. Like, yo, like I can't even tell you. I don't want to use ISO fucking ever
No
again.
way, bro.
Dude, I'm not fucking around. Like ethanol for hot dunks is like slappity slaps. And like I was like,
You know I love a hot dunk. You know
I
I
know.
love a hot dunk.
So Everclear. Because I was talking to Des about it, and Des was like, Everclear. And I was like, yes. Like, yes. Fucking right. Like grain alcohol. Like, yes.
Have you
Yeah.
seen those water distillers? I've seen people redistill or like basically distill a mash in there and get moonshine out. I've
Oh,
taken dirty ISO and then distilled it and got it clean. I'm sure you can do the same with ethanol.
yeah, I really want to do that to clean up a bunch of my ISO and shit like that, just because I have fucking so much dirty shit around, and I really want to like start cleaning it. I was thinking about getting like a Buchner and doing, or like a fritted filter and doing like a kind of like a CRC and trying to pull it all out that way. But like distillation ultimately is going to be about.
Bro, quit trying to CRC your fucking cleaning water, bro.
Gotta.
What up, Adam?
I'll CRC life if I want to.
Yeah, no, the show's gonna be sick. There's a bunch of glass collectors coming into town, and you know, it'll probably be a pretty fun night, pretty busy day. And then Sunday we've got Real Cannabis Chris, RJ and I's first episode where we're in the same room. So you know,
Actually,
that's
fucking
gonna be,
meeting me.
yeah, actually meeting RJ,
Yeah, we've
which is pretty
like
crazy.
kicked it. Everyone else of like our friend group pretty much fucking except for me. So
Yeah,
it'll be
yeah,
good
I'm
to find.
stoked, man.
Yeah, staying with him.
Yeah, we're doing the full thing.
If he doesn't get by the end of this, then we're good. I think.
We know we're good. Oh man, that's dope. Yeah, no, I'm super excited. It's gonna be a good show. Those guys know how to throw a party.
Fucking Eddie.
Yeah, that thing fucking hangs, man. That thing that's so.
Yeah, man. It came out super nice.
That's so nice,
Are
man.
you bringing the Cobra to Maine? Are you bringing that to Maine?
Yeah. I'm bringing this in the pirate one. The skull with the snake coming out of it.
Those are the two.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bro, I got a little RJ Pendy. I put that over the snake's neck on the other fucking rig, bro. Mm-hmm. Yep. They're a pair and a half.
Oh, that's yo, what up, Symbiosis? We have a dope accommodation for regen that I'm sharing with Symbiosis. So
Yeah, man. I'm psyched.
Yeah.
It took a little bit to get that menu meat heavy, man.
It did. He was against it. We got a chef. We haven't announced it, but we got a chef, and we told him like Mikey just eats meat pretty much, and like I should just eat meat, but like I like my mac and cheese late at night, as you can tell, and and he was really hesitant. We had to push him pretty hard. You know, we were like, no, we'll pay more, like organic, grass fed, you know, meat.
I was like, bro, like roasted pork belly, some brisket, like fucking ribs, like fatty, delicious, big piles of meat, bro. Come on, like, hook it up.
Yeah. Because like, you know, for me, it's like, I don't know, I don't, when I'm like socializing and like at that conference and everything, like I'm not like, I don't want to chow down, but like if there's a certain time at the end of the night where I'm like, I need to like intake, like you saw how we did that steak, like everybody sat down and just like smash steak at like 10:30 at night, just because like you're just talking all day. Like Kevin Joji, like he'll just go for days, but eventually he needs to feed himself. Like, you know, that man is insane. Like he doesn't rock back and forth. He doesn't move. Like when I met Kevin Joji, like he was walking up to a conference and I was like, oh my God, it's Kevin. And I pretty much watched everything I could about him. And I walked up to him and I just started talking to him and firing question at him. And before I knew it, like 6-8 hours had gone by. And how I knew was like, I'm rocking back and forth. I'm like bending over, my back's hurting, like we're standing on concrete. Kevin is fucking there, boom, like a rock, like hasn't moved, just puffing J's, just puffing and talking, just people are coming by, oh yeah, talking about this, talking about that. Like the guy is an absolute beast, and he's always like that. You see him at shows, like he stands, like, you know, you go up to him and, you know, if you did one of these to him, like he wouldn't move. He's not rocking, you couldn't catch that guy off balance. Like he's just a little, he's fucking
Bro, I'm telling you, I've never randomly bumped into fucking someone else that I've been sessioning with and had to talk about like bioplasmic energy studies funded by fucking other governments. Like,
bro, that guy
you know what I
hangs
mean?
out with some serious cats, bro. Like that guy's
Yeah.
yeah. That guy's
If
hanging out
you're
with
into
some
stuff like
serious
that, like
cats.
you've been into like body performance, body efficiency, like
Well,
some serious shit.
his son, shout out Nakona Jodri, he's in cannabis too, but his son's like super into um health, and he's a competitor at an international level for kettlebells. So like you see him and you're like, oh, he's not like that. He's not like, he doesn't look yoked or like anything. He's not like super built up, but for his weight class, he's like top in the world for kettlebells, and it's like reps to exhaustion, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam's jumping in. Dope.
Which one? East Coast or West Coast? Feet or fucking.
Baby boy.
There we go. It's the foot man.
Hey,
The
baby boy.
foot man.
Now he's upside down. I like that one.
Thanks for letting me join. I thought it was is 4 people the limit in here or something.
Yeah, it is.
What?
It's all good, bro. I want to hear more about your travels. Are you like more normal headed now? By the way, thank you so much for being on the show. Like, we appreciate you so much. I know you had just gotten off a plane and you're a little jet lagged, and we just appreciate the shit out of you.
Well, thankfully I was able to sleep, so I was jet
Good.
lagged. That's still a little weird, but I'm doing great. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. How did the show go overall?
I thought it was really good. I think that you know, hindsight being 2020, I probably, you know, and this just comes with like networking and you know, now I have a lot of people's numbers, but putting the show together faster when emotions had flared up. I think that by the time we got the show together, emotions had kind of died down, and there was maybe less passion on one side or another. And I think that we had a really, really good constructive conversation, but I think it would have been, I thought it was great. I thought it was super good. But yeah, no, I'm excited for.
Were you hoping for a little bit more?
Yeah. Like I don't want to. Like I don't ever, you know, want to be known as anybody trying to manufacture any type of drama or anything like that. But you know, the idea for the show was there was two real competing trains of thought, and I think.
What were those?
Well, there was an idea that darker, more cured resin created a more desirable flavor and experience. And there was another camp that yeah, Cody kind of knows where I'm going with it. And then there was another camp that you know looked at it and said, you know, from my experience, I like lighter colored extracts. And at one point there was a heated argument, and I was very much looking forward to seeing,
maybe we need to have a version 2, bro, an episode 2.
Bro, I think it was just a bad day, honestly, for a couple of people. Like I just think like if you know, everybody has, you know, their days, and but I want to you know, foster more shows like that where I think like I can more or less act as an intermediary and have an open debate about something. And I thought you know what, I thought everybody learned something. I know I did. I think anybody watching it learned something. So I think it was super good. Like I'm yeah, racking
You,
it down too slight.
you know
Yeah,
what? You know what sort of a roundtable I'd be super interested in, and is in hearing grow mediums and light sources debated as to what sort of resin it creates, as well as like any sort of scientific backing on that.
I don't know if there's enough like scientific backing, and it's opinionated. Like a roundtable I'd want to do is you, Rackham's, and a couple of other diamond guys, and like just be like a really deep wormhole tech maybe RJ bring in a couple of diamond guys on the solvent side and like have that. But like, I only want to address, like I want to address stuff as it arises. Kind of, that's my goal.
I've already hit up a couple dudes. I hit up DA. DA hit me back over, and I'd probably get him on that episode.
You guys talk about turf huffing?
I mean, most of the diamond stuff that I learned was originally just from BHO people. You know, and I kind of carried over some of the things that they taught me and then just ruined a bunch of jars until they started coming out good. And then until they started coming out looking good, and then kept on ruining them until they started coming out smelling good.
Yeah, I'm always down for a jar.
Can I watch you guys judge me right now? So
yeah, absolutely.
So I had some wine in Europe with this very nice person named David, and he took me to the most badass places to eat, hole-in-the-wall restaurants that you can't really find if you.
It looked like you ate
there for a while. And Gastro Bro, shout out Gastro Bro on Instagram. You should all follow him. Really cool. But anyways, he opened up some wine, and I was like, "Whoa, this is cool!" Like because the wine just didn't taste right. It was too fresh, right? The alcohol was just, and so he had that waiter like open it up by putting it in this wine vessel, push it around, and then we poured it and tasted it again, and it was completely different. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm opening up and I'm huffing.
This is his new concept, and we need to get this on Bubble Man's show so we can convert his listeners to understanding that they're wasting things and that they can have just as good of an experience, but way better. Right, Adam?
There's a certain amount of people, and partly Bubble Man's partly to blame for it, because I've heard him talk about it on Hash Church, but they are talking about how less terpenes is better because then it's less caustic. It doesn't hurt your throat or whatever. But why not just make it with the freshest, best terpene content? Keep that really nice, store that properly. Then do what I'm doing. If you're really weird about terps and you need to heat the terps up, just huff them. Just huff them and don't breathe them in yet. Heat them, right? Then hit it. That's the same thing as curing the plants and drying it out is what my point is. I don't think I explained it very well there. I did a little bit better earlier, right, Mikey?
Yeah, so here, this is what he's saying, right? So he's saying to heat up the banger just a little bit and then put your terps in there and let them puddle out and let those like most volatile ones off gas and just inhale them and enjoy them. And then after that, it won't be caustic on the lungs anymore. You can cap it, do yourself a nice cold start, and then you have all of it. You get the most beautiful part, and you get to have the non-caustic lung dabs.
It's like a
right?
true aromatherapy experience.
Yeah, you're like a wine addict, as he said. But you're inhaling the fucking terps, and then you're tasting the terps. It's like a whole experience. Right, homie?
Then I put them on my palms, and I go like this, go. James, and James doesn't get it. RJ doesn't either.
What are you talking about? I get everything.
They would never cold start like us.
No, because I'm a hot dabbing motherfucker. I want them hot and globby. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want them burny and I want tears. Like,
no,
I don't have a tear coming out of my eye. I didn't really fucking dab. Like, straight up. I didn't really dab.
If I'm not crawling into the ground, fucking drooling on myself, I didn't dab, bro.
If I'm not questioning if I'm gonna be able to dab again for the rest of the day, then I didn't really dab.
I mean, I just can't cold start because I need to replicate the tech. I need to have total replicability, if that is even a fucking word.
Think about this for a second, though.
Consistent every fucking time, and the only way that's happening is heat gun or with one of these fucking things.
Yeah.
Okay, but do this for Adam, your boy Adam. Okay, baby boy Adam here.
Baby boy, I love you.
Take two ballpoint pen, BB size dabs. One BB size dab, another BB size dab. Do what I said. Bloom, open one of those BB size dabs, smell it, in your nose, like directly on the banger, and just let all of the volatiles go into your senses. It is crazy. It is awesome. And then you just hit the rest.
I kind of do. I kind of like, especially on the slurpers and like the Slurpees and shit. I basically like put the dab on the dish first, let it start melting, and then kind of get like waft, and then I go in.
But it's hot at that point, right?
Yeah.
It's not very hot. It's just warm. It's warm enough. Just fucking. It's like a warm
75
aromatic thing that I'm having trouble explaining.
So, do you think that this is melt specific, or do you think that this is across the spectrum of concentrate?
I just did it with rosin.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
It's a little rosin is a little flatter.
Yo, you might. This might be a thing. Like,
is it, bro? Not my rosin.
It is a little flatter. But
that might like this is so okay. So like with stuff that you know, what is your experience like with like tried and true things that you have? How much have you done? Like how much have you looked into this, Adam?
4 dabs.
4 dabs. Okay, and with those dabs, any of those dabs like
5 or 6.
tried and true, like are the flavor profile once you inhale, is that a huge difference to if you don't do it and just go right, dropping
so
it
the full melt, I had a slightly better experience whenever I heated it up just a little bit. It wasn't hot at all, like just barely, just to warm up the banger, so it wasn't a cold banger. Now it's a nice warm banger. Then I dropped like a BB size dab of full melt, and it just spread out really microfilm thin, and I smelled that. And I just kept smelling that for like 30 seconds, like a long time. And then I put the banger back in the piece, and then I just roast the rest of it all to the face.
Interesting.
Right.
Yo,
fire. He says he gets super high off of it.
Yo, are you sick of talking about your stories in Barcelona, or you down for some story time to share right now?
Yeah. I don't have too much longer, but I definitely have long enough.
Well, we don't want to keep you from any engagements, but I'd sure like to hear.
Your time is our time, okay? We tell you.
No. So busy.
One of the first things that I did was hit 150 micron Tang, Tang, and it was nothing like Tangy or anything. It was like a fermented pineapple. And it was 150 micron full melt from Babushka Farms, who's David and Vincenzo, who both are HQ. David's the president of HQ, and then I think Vincenzo's like some sort of managerial director of some sort. But he does some of the growing and some of the watering for Babushka Farms. And that was just a really, really good dab because it was the first dab I took in Barcelona, and it was a big fat one. And there was no choosing about the serving size. He chose for me, and he immediately fed me a croissant. And I'm like famous for saying that I can't get anything like this in America, in the States. And he thought that was hilarious, and then eventually started to make me say it on camera. But I got made fun of from Adam because he was like, "What, you've never been in a restaurant before?" And I was like, "Dude, you don't understand." Mission Hill Mills, shout out Mission Hill for making fun of me all the time. But yeah, what to hear about? So that was the first dab. Then I took the second few dabs I took were from Slight 23 on Instagram. Andrea,
shout out Slight.
He won first Masters in the end, which I didn't know at the time that he was going to win. But it was the first time he ever entered. He was usually, anyways. But so I tried his work, like all of his stuff. I dabbed the rosin, and then he whipped out his melt, and it was amazing, like the best melt I saw. It was clear, sunset sherbet in it.
Did you see it cold? Did you see it still frozen, or did you see it melted out?
I saw it melted out, but it was just barely melted out,
yeah,
like in the last hour.
Yeah.
But it was
What
a
up,
Sunset
Chaz?
Vert, and it was a lower yielder, and he just keeps it around for cups and stuff. And that was actually what he won with, was a Sunset Sherb with a blend of Skittles or something like that.
So,
But then, yeah, man, I thought I knew coffee, but whenever I got there, I realized, oh shit, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Everything is so good, and it's a little bit cheaper. And what am I doing? Yeah, could you try to keep me on track, because I'm going off here a little bit, and maybe...
I like it.
no, I want like
Tell us about how smoky the fucking clubs were, bro. Seriously.
They're slightly smoky, just because people are smoking spliffs and stuff. But HQ, we were lucky in the fact that it wasn't as smoky as other clubs. But I didn't honestly go in too many other clubs. I went to this Uncle Farms, and they were really nice folks.
isn't
But
Terps Army no tobacco?
by the time I got in there, there was just too many people smoking, and I think the smoke just stacks up.
Yeah.
So, but
talk a little bit about like Masters and like how that whole like what was it like walking in there? Like what was the scene like?
So, so you mean like the scene overall of like the competition of the whole week, or do you mean like as soon as I got there, how it was like going into HQ or something?
No, like I don't think the scene of the whole week, but like the competition, like when they held the competition and they gave out those judges packs, how does it work? Like for the people that don't know, like are you taking those judges packs away, or are you sitting there and like working through them like a ego clash?
Oh yeah, no. So we can take them away. You just obviously want to be smart when you're doing that. So but yeah, all the judges were separate.
They like disperse. They just go their
Yeah.
separate ways. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
are you filling out forms? Is it online? Is it paper written down? Like how are you grading these things?
So at first I took notes on a separate paper draft, and then I put all my numbers, and that was even still a draft. And then I put my numbers one more time and added all of them up. And I did 0.5 was the lowest score I gave, and a 5 was the highest score I gave.
And is that because you were instructed to grade like that, or is that your chosen way?
Yeah, I believe it was 0 out of 5 is what you could grade it.
Okay.
There was one person that then entered hash, and so it was like, how do you grade this if it's a rosin? It's a Masters of Rosin, but what did you need? Okay. But,
So wait, it was just
yeah. Sorry, what?
they had a melt category too, though, right? It wasn't just rosin, or was it just rosin?
No, it's strictly rosin.
I thought they had a melt category too. I was confused.
Oh,
I think
bro, get me in next year. I'm telling you.
I don't know, like,
Bro, we're going next year. We're going.
yeah, I think that
Tell
what
Slight
happened
or
was they
DeMarco
allow
or
flower rosin, but now they only allow like rosin from water hash.
That's proper. All right, I'm a rip, boys. Take care. Catch you
Yo,
guys
I'll
later.
see you tomorrow, brother.
Fuck yeah.
Text me though.
RJ.
Yeah. Okay. Be easy.
Peace, bud.
Good seeing you, buddy.
So I'll just quickly finish the Masters of Rosin judging thing. So I first graded. It goes appearance, taste, dab, and after dab. No, appearance, smell, taste, after dab. And so each one of those has its own points. And so there was the smell, the appearance. So I laid them all out with the tops open just to see all the shades together. And each top has a QR code on it. Am I wrong? Thanks, Kiki.
So
there was a appearance, smell, taste, and after dab. And what I thought was cool is they added after dab to the list, which is like a nuance of things. What's up, Taste Bud? Victor was there. Taste Bud was there with me for briefly. We didn't get to dab as long as I wanted to together, but
so
he's just so happy.
Did you just judge it in the order that was on the list, or did you choose to go visual, smell, or in the order that you did?
Yeah, I chose to go just to do appearance and smell, because I realized if I go jar to jar, it was going to be a daunting task, you know. to try to just that's just not, yeah. So like I put all the shades together. Some shades were very similar. I took a picture of that, but I don't know. Anyways, and like all the crumbles and all the wet batters and all the stuff, the fresh press, I put all in, did their own little sections, and then I graded them on appearance. And so I went through the list and I just graded them based on only appearance, no smell, no taste or after dab, you know, obviously. And then after I did that, I graded the smell. So then I went and literally smelled all of them, and I had coffee in front of me, beans, and so this is the way I did that. I got to HQ early before the smoke started to pile up, and David was nice enough to help me out, and like so I would sit with David some days. We would both like have our packs out together, and judging ourselves just slowly. But I would get there in the morning before the smoke would pile up, and I'd wait until maybe 1 or 2, and then I would leave and go walk around the city and stuff and see the sights. But so my judging was mostly done in the mornings. I'd go and get some coffee and a little.
Yo, is the smoke that bad? Like I used to smoke cigarettes, and now I quit, and now the smoke really bothers me. Like, is it?
I think it just depends, man, on yeah, I mean, if smoke bothers you, it will bother you over time. That's why HQ is better. I don't know this, but like it seems like it might be just a little bit bigger, so that helps the smoke a little bit. But yeah, you know, get there a little earlier before it starts to pile up. I think maybe later it starts to pile up. But you know, I am sensitive to it. Like it's tobacco smoke too, I think. So it's like
no, that
I quit smoking.
I'm not sensitive to cannabis smoke at all. I'm only
I don't
sensitive
think,
to
you know, most
tobacco
people
smoke.
don't look at it as like a downer, and it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. But it was quite a bit for me. You know, I'm sensitive to that shit.
Yeah. I quit smoking when I moved out to Santa Rosa. Like, in the day I moved out there was like, just smoked weed instead. Every time I wanted a cigarette, smoked a joint.
Victor says yes, it was that.
So, all right. So I want to hear more about these rosins. They were all fruity?
They were all mostly fruity candy, yeah, exactly. But what
And
one was Sunset Sherb with Skittles.
what terps other than Skittles? Because I don't believe that Skittles.
There was a papaya there, but their papaya is
Yo, Mikey does not believe. Mikey believes Skittles is Sasquatch. He does not believe it exists.
no,
Kind of, yeah. Kind
it
of.
smells good.
Every time I've been told that there's these amazing Z terps, I don't taste them, so I don't know.
Crazy.
Sorry. I want to hear more about these terps.
Maybe you're immune to the Z-terps or something. There was this really nice character named Doc Hayes on Instagram. He has created this thing. He crossed. He doesn't like to call himself a breeder, but he crossed lemon cane. I don't want to speak for him, but it's something like that, something along those lines. Lemon cane and Z.
Yeah.
And then selected out of that, and his girlfriend selected as well with him, because there was so much to choose from, and there was mostly lemon from it, but that he got this one that's like an exact lemon and Skittles, and it does really good.
It does good in the wash bin,
and it won second place Masters of Rosin.
Yeah, listen.
But do you know what it
sorry.
yielded?
What?
Do you know what it
Go ahead.
yielded?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely it's good. It's like 5 or 6, he said. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's hitting the terps like how he wants. And this guy's just so passionate. Yeah, these people have true passion, you know. It's really, really fun to talk to them because they love talking about hash. So you guys would love to go there.
How many people are growing organically?
Sorry.
What?
Sorry, Mikey. How many people are growing organically?
Oh, well, I didn't count.
No, I know you didn't count, but just in a feel.
But I feel like you could almost tell with the hash. Like I feel like what one was proper. properly grown. Yeah.
So
It was pretty
did
cool.
you?
And everybody kept saying like how much the quality had gone up, considerably from year to year, and this year especially. Like there was a solid out of those however many were here, like
Mhm.
20 of them were good competitors. I have maybe whatever 10 or 15 of them that was like it was kind of difficult, and then I narrowed it down to 43, 83. 3, which was second place. 43 was first place. 83 was third place. So
So you're a good judge, is what you're saying.
well, I don't know that, but 24, I also graded high, but it didn't place.
What was that one?
I don't know. I would have to get out the picture of or go back on Instagram.
Were there any? So Slight, does he do a Sunday driver? I know he does Sunset.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, the Sunday driver.
Did you get to try it?
Yeah, it was really good.
How was it, man?
Everything that they have is just slightly different because they, of course, pick their own plants from seeds. But
So what are the terps like on it?
like that. Did you try? You didn't get to
Is
try
it a
one.
grapey? Is it a grapier than
No, it's
the
that.
one?
It's that umame
Ser-
umame mushroom, granddaddy purple. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Granddaddy purple.
Yeah, Rackham's has a nice Sunday.
Rackham's, I'm gonna try it, bro. I'm a Sunday driver connoisseur. I have a whole bunch of crosses going in the garden right now.
Rackham's up.
And I have a really like grape candy cut of Sunday driver that I absolutely love. But yeah, man, love Sunday driver terps.
So like what up?
What's up, Rackham? I just want to say the after dab was something new that they put on Masters of Rosin and nuance of things. It's like what it looks like on the nail afterwards, what it smells like, what it looks like, or what it tastes like when you breathe it out, and how it translates and stuff. So that was a new.
Ooh, that was crazy fire.
This shit was grown by my mother-in-law.
That's dope.
Fucking the same shit I tell everybody. My mother-in-law makes the best full melt that I've ever processed in my life.
It's crazy. Yo,
The only time I could really say that I've gotten true 6-star, it was from my mother-in-law, and this is the rosin from it.
is she like a gifted
Real
gardener?
fan terps.
Is she like a gifted gardener, just always been, and then she's just started growing weed, or what?
I mean, if you ever get a chance to talk to my wife, she can probably tell you the whole story about her life and her mom and her dad and whatnot. Her dad being a pirate, her mom was there through thick and thin with that. But her mom just grows outdoor just for the fun of it, just because she likes growing. She has a big vegetable garden, and when she waters the vegetable garden, she waters the cannabis plants. She doesn't do anything else, and I still get 6-star. Like every strain I've pulled from her, Dosey Dose, Sunday Driver. I think there's one other one. They all hit like 5.5, 6-star, and I don't say that lightly. Even the stuff that we grow here indoor, I have yet to achieve a 6-star to our own garden. So I don't just say it like I don't use that term willy nilly, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
The Sunday Driver has like a butter bakery aroma to it. It's the only way I can describe it. It's like a sweet frosting bakery aroma. Profile.
No, that sounds delicious.
Yeah,
Adam, I need to know more about how the grading is weighed. Because are you weighing appearance the same as after dab, the same as experience, the same? Are all these things being weighted at the same level?
As in the same numerical scale.
Yeah, are you just adding up your 1 to 5? Is each category 1 to 5, and you're just adding that up? I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think that after dab has as much importance on
after dab. If it translates the the smoke well and it doesn't hurt your throat, and if it doesn't leave a brown stain on
I
the
thought
nail.
you would. I thought you would. Okay, well, the
The
nail.
effect
Yeah,
is not the after dab. That was kind of what was kind of confusing to me at first. But
yeah,
then I realized like that's why they created and made the after dab, was because it is a nuance of things. So it's like what exactly what is, if it leaves
yeah,
brown on the nail, I noted that for sure. Like if
for
it was
sure.
like a blowout or something without knowing it, there was definitely one or two that was like that. And then
Yeah.
there was one that was just all purple, man. I do have the notes, so I can just find it real quick.
How'd
The
you feel
rosin
about
was
the
purple?
purple one?
Yeah,
The
it was a
purple
good
one was 79, and
stain. I bet it made a mess.
I didn't give it very high, but the first day, I remember I liked it. And
Oh,
then the
interesting.
second day, just something about it was wrong. And like I realized it's just full of the compounds that are not something that I want. It was like it vaporized super purple for a second and then just immediately turned dark brown. And there was just something about it I didn't like.
Yeah. No.
Maybe that part.
I
Maybe that specific.
Sounds like it was probably made from trim.
yeah, maybe.
Remember, guys, purple isn't always better.
Most of the time isn't.
It was the
better.
only one that was all purple.
Yeah, trying to sell
I tripped
packs.
out on how it would boil for a little bit before its purple color left.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if you're a broker, purple is best. Outside of that, no way, shape, or form.
That's the only people that really like purple.
No wonder I hate my brokers. They all want fucking purple flour. Like, fuck off, dude.
Don't you
You
know
couldn't freeze it out a little longer? No, I couldn't. Leave me alone. Buy my
green
shit.
stuff? The green stuff gets you higher.
Make green bud better.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, no, what I liked about this one was I definitely had multiple days. I had days to go over this, and I spent quite a bit of time doing it because I could have gone and seen so much more sites. I saw so many awesome places. Did you watch my
I hope you're able to bring some stuff back, quote unquote.
I started. Oh, you mean I brought this back? An ashtray.
There you go.
I didn't want to buy a bunch of bullshit. It didn't mean, you know what I mean? It was just like touristy bullshit. But I did see some crazy shit.
Yeah,
Anyways,
no.
if you guys have heard of Lost Crowd Familia, that was just, I got to go inside it.
What was the footwear like over there, bro?
No, I wore these over there.
What about everybody else? Was there anyone with toe shoes or wide toe box style sneakers or shoes?
Nobody with shoes, or toe spreaders, or nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
No, nobody wears toe shoes over there, dude. No.
I don't picture healthy footwear.
Well, yeah, but then everybody's complaining about their feet hurting. And I was the only one. I went to the 7th floor of my hotel where the gym and the pool was. It was too cold to get in the pool, but the gym, I got on the treadmill and I walked backwards. And it's the sled. And that was just like so helpful for walking all around. And instead of complaining about pain, I was pain free.
Mobility for the win.
Mobility for the win, brother. So,
Adam, did you get to go to Spanibus or just the Masters of Rosin?
I should have at least ran by Spanibus, but I felt like it was just like I was hoping to see those people that went there eventually at HQ or at some other club or at some other event. But I unfortunately did not. But hopefully there's always next year.
I'm definitely going next year.
I saw people.
I'm coming with you, Rackham.
Story and stuff.
I'm coming with. Yeah, no, I was supposed to go this year. There was a moment when I was going, and then I didn't end up going. So, but I'm super glad I hit the regenerative conferences, and I don't think I would have been able to do Spanibus and the regen conferences. So it's all for a reason. But I'll definitely be there next year. I love the vibes. I love watching everyone's stories. It looked like you had so much fun, and like anytime you can get that many like real, tough puffers in a room and just really have it out over some really good hash. It's always good vibes. So I'm super stoked to go next year.
Yeah, man, you guys, yeah, you all gotta.
Hopefully, I'll be able to take my boat, sail out there.
Bro, that would be cool. That would be very cool.
It's a 52-foot boat. We could fit a few hash makers on it. That's for damn sure.
Bro, that would be the trip. That would be
I'm
I'm
saying it
gonna
now. Anybody want to charter with me to Spain in the next year, 2 years? Let me know. You got a spot.
Thanks for
Yo,
chatting. I'm gonna jump off.
hey, take it easy,
Yo,
Adam.
Night, buddy.
easy.
There you go.
Yo, that would be a trip, man. I might have to
Mm-hmm.
sign up for that. Some fishing.
What's going on with fucking Canada? Any competitions or cups or events happening up there anytime soon?
There's one. I don't think maybe it's a competition. It's called the Unicorn Cup. I think they actually got Jodrey to come up, um, and they're doing it in interior BC, and it's definitely not like a corporate event. And they have a bit of a music festival tied to it, in the forest, and they have that one. But like, it's really strange. Like, Canada's been legal since 2001 on a medical standpoint, and we haven't really seen breeders like characters like Exotic Mike or something like that pop up here in Canada. But the movement of traditional market product has been fairly free, and so um, yeah, it's just been interesting to see. We've got the Karma Cup in Toronto, and I'm sure there's a few people in here that might know a few others, but nothing big. Like, we haven't seen any large corporate. We haven't really figured out how to throw cups up here because we've got this legal system, but the legal system is not really like even at a point where they're ready to start comparing themselves to each other because they're all struggling in their own ways, and so um, it's a bit of a we're still figuring it out, but I think like those cups and stuff is really what brings the culture together. And so in Canada, we're all fragmented like everybody else, but we've got more geography between us. And so,
Yeah.
having events where we can kind of come out of our holes, um, is what brings the community together. And so far, like, they haven't been the best, but I think that they're getting better every year. But like, as far as like from a guy who travels around, like, the community is not the same in these Canadian gatherings as it is in some of the gatherings in Oakland, or the stuff that you go to that I've had the chance to get to as well. So
Yeah.
it's just there's a ton of heads in Canada, and they're just all spread out, and you gotta do it right to get them together, and we just haven't accomplished that yet. So
Yeah, it
it's
seems
coming.
like last time I talked to Dave at Gastown.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was he did his thing pre-pandemic, and that looked fucking amazing, man. Especially at Green Cedar Retreat. Like,
Bro,
I
Dave's
I
killing it.
definitely want to go out there.
Dave's killing it. Dave's like, I mean, I grew up fishing. Like, fishing was my passion before cannabis, and so, like, he's like, what he's done is like, I got mad respect for him and how he's living, and he's kind of just marching to the beat of his own drum, and I really think that's cool. I don't think like Green Cedar. I guess he did do that gathering, and like that went down. I didn't make it out to that one, but that went down really well. So like, I'm
Yeah,
sure he'll
from what
have
I heard
more of
and saw,
those.
yeah.
Yeah, and like that kind of thing. Like, I'll definitely be trying to get out to the next one in Tofino. And like, bro, Tofino is like one of the most beautiful places in the world. Like, he
I
just like
know.
he just like found one of the most beautiful places in the world, posted up, and then started running fishing charters. Like, that guy's a beauty. Like, going fishing, hitting dabs, like, it's next level. So
Yeah, the hot springs they have there. I mean, the fact that the cabins are right there on the beach, you can walk out and see orcas breach and shit. I mean, that's fucking majestic
oh
as
yeah,
fuck.
oh yeah, it's real out there. I go fishing like just north of there almost every year, like pre-pandemic, and it's fucking beautiful up there. Like, Tofino's more of like a
Hopefully,
surf town, and then like north there, it's hardcore fishing, but like there's still good fishing off Tofino. Tofino's like the surf town.
yeah, I'd like to bring my sailboat up that way too, but that's against winds, so
Yeah.
that's a tough sail.
How far is the sail California to Spain?
That's quite a while. You have two options. You can do like the South Pacific crossing, which would mean you go over to Hawaii, Pacific Islands, then Asia, and then like through the Indian Ocean, I believe, and then you can hit Spain.
Yeah.
Or you can cross Panama through the Panama Canal and go through the Caribbean, Bahamas, and then cross through the Atlantic crossing, which is a little bit more treacherous, which is probably shorter. But I think from Florida to Spain is roughly like 3,000 miles, give or take. It's a mission. You have to like provision for 2 to 3 months just to make sure.
Damn, that's great. And like, how many miles a day are you moving? Like on average, are you accounting for?
I mean, from what I haven't experienced it myself, but just from the research I've done and talking to so many people and watching all the YouTube videos, I mean, you can travel anywhere between 80 to 100 miles a day. That'd be ideal, but you got to remember you're traveling 24/7. Like as long as you got wind, you're moving.
Yeah.
So and that also is the big part. Like if you have wind one day, you might not have any the next day, and you either motor or just float around.
Yeah.
So it really depends on your weather, and things of that nature. How big your boat is, how loaded it is, how fast it could travel under certain wind speeds, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Man. It's so cool, man. So cool. I wish I like spent more time like doing big, like long overnight big boat stuff more. Like I had kind of an opportunity to do some bigger boat stuff when I was living in the Caribbean, but like I had a couple of like bad experiences as a kid, and so I just did like smaller motorboat stuff, but like the sailboat stuff was always really cool. I just never got into it.
Yeah, I mean, neither did I until I met my wife. She was the one that's been sailing since she was a kid. She asked me when we first got together. She's like, "There's a couple of things you need to have or be into if you want to date me, and it's a passport and sailing and scuba diving." I was like, "Down."
Like, let's go. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, let's go. I've been stuck in California for 32 years when I met her, so it's time to get the fuck out of Dodge. And she gave me that opportunity.
I got my dive master when I was like 17, and I had my PADI open water when I was 12, and I took like the weekend crash course and I failed it because like it was the fast course for the adults, and I remember like crying in my dad's car like, "I'm sorry, Dad," and like the instructor was like, "You can just come back tomorrow and like challenge the test," and like, you know,
Totally.
it's all good. But yeah, no, diving is just so cool. It got expensive like after I stopped living in the Caribbean. It was like if I traveled somewhere, I was like, "Oh, I didn't bring my dive gear." And then it's like, it's that much. It's like, yeah, I'll snorkel. You know, I can hold my breath.
That's the one thing I'm going to do next. Me and the wife are going to learn how to free dive and spearfish.
Bro, spearfishing is like my zen. Like I'm ADD to the max. I like have trouble like sitting still, and I get into the water with a spear gun, and I'm just like the zenest motherfucker. Like you would have thought I would have been like reached enlightenment and shit. Like I'm just like totally calm, moving with the water.
It kind of forces you to be that way. I mean, if you freak out or you lose your capacity to think, then you die.
Oh yeah. And like eagle rays and shit, and like all these shit in the ocean is just like, it's like dogs. Like, you know, dogs will jump on people that like don't want them to jump on them, and then like the people who are like, "I fucking dare that dog to jump on me," a dog will never jump on. Like just from like the vibes you put out, like fish and like shit are like that. Like there used to be tons of eagle rays like in the waters where I grew up, and they're the pointed nose like rays that like kind of have like devil mouths, and they like look at you, and like if you're scared of them and you're like swimming away from them, they're like interested in you, so they like come towards you. So it teaches you to kind of be like, "Yo man, like come see me," and then they like come up close, and then they just fuck right off. And so it was a trip, but yeah, the ocean's a cool place. It teaches you to be chill, for sure.
I haven't been able to do too much crazy stuff yet. I mean, I've swam with whale sharks. I've done the manta ray dive, which is pretty cool at night, and then swam with
Yo,
Swam with
whale
sea
shark.
lions, which was fucking dope.
I've never done any of these things, and I've spent thousands of hours in the water. That's fucking
Dude,
awesome.
we swam with whale sharks on mushrooms. That shit was crazy.
That's nuts, man.
It was not the best idea because there was like 8 foot, 6 to 8 foot seas. This was not the time to
Bro,
be
were
going
you
out
in
to
were
see
you close
fucking
to shore? Or
school buses.
were you on a boat?
Yeah,
They
we
drove
were
you
on a
out there?
boat,
Oh my gosh. And then,
which made
oh
it
my
worse.
gosh. Oh my gosh. And then you're in like
Yeah.
big seas, and then they just go, all right, there it is, jump in.
Yeah, start swimming is what they tell you.
Yo, that's the
I thought I
best.
could just sit there with my GoPro and like just hang out. They're like, no, you have to bust your ass. You have to swim. Like one swipe of their tail is like 20, 30 feet in length as far as
Oh
distance is
yeah.
concerned. It's like,
Did
it
you
was
like get
crazy.
up
When I
close?
saw
Did you
that
like,
fucking, I mean, can't really see it. There you go. I got this tattoo because of those. Like, I had a fucking whale shark come literally 2 feet away from my eyes. It was the most amazing
wow.
experience I've ever. Like, the next one will be sharks. That's the big one.
Yeah. Sharks are crazy because like you gotta like really be calm and just like chill out, and then everything's fine. It's like
Yeah,
it's
it's definitely all about your heart rate at that
all
point.
about your heart rate and like all that shit. And then you're like start thinking about it. You're like, but they can sense this electrical shit, and then it's like fast. And you're like, no, no, no. You gotta calm down. Like I used to like I spearfished a lot, and I ran into sharks, and like my little brother was terrified of sharks, and like we, I remember him coming out, and like I was 10 feet ahead of him in 4 feet of water, and there was like this huge reef shark that got caught behind a break, and like he was just like stuck behind this in this reef break in the coral, and we were in max 6 feet of water, and I like turned around, and I did the whole like, hey, look over here, like let's swim back this way, and I remember like telling him years later, I was like, yo, we could have. That was the biggest shark I've ever seen in the shallowest amount of water. Like it was wild. It would be like
Man, I have,
like turning the corner and the bear being right there, like just right up in your nose.
dude, we did a beach dive in Hawaii. I think it was off the Big Island. We did a beach dive, walked through the beach, got in the water, and there's just like a main channel for a harbor. So I guess a lot of these boats, these fishing harbors, a lot of these boats when they come in, they'll dump their waste fish, like the guts and all that stuff, pretty much like right in front of this harbor. So it was a big meeting spot for sharks, tiger sharks, and everything of the sort. And when we get out there, we're checking out these turtles and some other stuff. Everything was cool. We get to this flat spot where they have like a bait box at the very bottom of the water, and we're doing big circles around this thing. Everybody's kind of spread apart. I'm by myself, and I kind of just glance back, and I see out of the corner of my eye like the biggest fucking tiger shark, pregnant tiger shark that I've ever seen in my life. And I hadn't really seen many in person before that, and you know,
Whoa.
things look bigger underwater, but this thing
So much
kind of
bigger,
went.
bro.
It was like out in the distance, and it looked like a fucking full blown size of a truck. And
Oh yeah.
I wanted to turn around and scream and say, "Hey guys!" But obviously you can't talk underwater. So I'm sitting there banging my tank, trying to get people's attention, and sure enough, it just drifts off into the distance. It's like, fuck, nobody's gonna believe me. Like this thing was massive and scared the shit out of me.
Bro, it's crazy when you shoot fish underwater and then you pull them out of the water. You're like, damn, that's a lot smaller than it looks.
Right? It's good times though. The scuba diving is something that I'm very partial to too. I mean, like you said, it's kind of a Zen thing. It makes you focus on your breathing, makes you focus about more so around about your surroundings and things of that shit. Like we did our advanced scuba diving in cenotes in Tulum, so we got to do cave diving and get our advanced certification that way. We did our night dive in a cenote called the Pit. It's like a 250-foot deep cenote.
Yeah.
Got to go through different different levels of water where the fresh water meets the salt water and makes it all foggy.
So cool. That's really
And then you get like further down and like where all the decomposing shit is, it looks like oil in your eyes, looks like you're drunk. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, no. I've actually been in water where the hot and the cold are mixing, and that's super cool. That cave diving freaks me out. I did wreck diving, and when wreck diving's a little tight, but as long as like it's not too big a wreck, I'm okay. But cave diving, I'm not too good on.
Yeah, we did a wreck dive. The cenotes were dope too. Like we got to see 1,000-year-old pottery, and it's original place where it was before the place filled up with water. I mean, think about that. It's just been sitting down there for 1,000 years.
That's wild. That's insane. That would be crazy to
Next
see. It
level.
freak me out. That would freak me out.
It would have freaked me out more if there was bones next to it. That would have been a lot more weirder.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
the experience is cool. I mean, it's a totally different. It's the underworld, man. I mean, the cenotes diving. It's a real risk because cenotes collapse all the time. But
Yeah.
some of these spots were just fucking mind blowing as fuck. Like even more so than parts of the ocean.
Yeah, no, I've seen a couple of those on videos and like those look insane. Those like just depressions into the earth, fresh water,
Yeah.
just super clear.
And
It's
then
just
you
like,
think about like at a certain point, all that water wasn't there, and there was actually people in those caves.
yeah,
So
that's crazy. For me, I'd
pretty
want to have
crazy.
some life. Like I think like the sterile nature of a cave would kind of trip me out more than like having an abundance of life around. Like I always like never
Words.
liked when I was like, when you have those deep dives and you have to go through that transitionary period where you just don't see anything and like you have to equalize or like in those areas where you're like if you're doing a 130-foot dive and you're at 70 feet and you can't see the bottom and you can't see the top, like those were always the worst. Those were always the like you're just sitting there like I don't like this. I don't like this.
Yeah, how much more time do I have on my tank?
Yeah,
Am I
you're
going to
like
make it?
sitting waiting. Yeah. Always rushing. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, though. It's
Exactly.
definitely a different experience than anything else I've ever done in my life.
Yeah. Well, it kind of feels like the world's coming back on, so it feels like it might be time to go do more of that.
Yeah, man, let me know very soon. But I mean, within the next 3 to 5 years, ideally, we want to be out of California and start traveling down south to Mexico. We're going to be and try to spend some time in Baja, see a Cortez,
Well, if you
and
go
then
to the Antilles, I got a spot for you in Nevis, and
uh-huh.
if you need some rough, tough island boys, I got some boys in St. Kitts that are good muscle too. So I got St. Kitts and Nevis has Rackles covered. I'll speak on that.
That's what's up. I
Yeah.
definitely want to start checking out different countries, hashish and cannabis stuff via sailboat. Travel to their coast and see what they're all about. I
Yeah.
think that'd be pretty cool.
I think like some of the bigger Caribbean islands like Joshua Steensland did some stuff in St. Vincent
Uh-huh.
and stuff and like I think some of those guys are a little more advanced but like it's like on the smaller islands it's super basic. It's kind of like uh poor information has gotten like telephoned through generations there and the assumptions and stuff that they're taught about how to grow is usually pretty off base and like heavy chemicals and um I've seen a lot of what's the word I'm looking for, like not aquaponic but whatever chemicals you use to like clean your fish tanks and stuff, like they buy
Oh shit.
those because like they can get them more concentrated and cheaper and like in the barrels and then they'll water those like nitrogens down and stuff and they try and do their own NPKs and you see a lot of plants being burnt and a lot of just like they haven't it's going to be good to get some knowledge out there. Like that's something I'm passionate about. Like I had a play out there that I was looking at and then the legalization didn't happen and COVID happened and it all kind of shut down, but even just like not making any money but just like getting a cooperative set up where these guys are growing, even if it's not getting off island, just start growing weed, selling it on island and supporting your family because without tourism all these Caribbean islands, like it's gonna be so bad, and like tourism's not gonna jump back to where it was, and like the decimation that it's already done. 2 years of no tourism in a place where your number one source of revenue is tourism is a tough go.
Yeah, totally. I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Interesting though.
Yeah.
Good shit, man. It was nice talking to you like always.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, man. About to fucking shut off this freeze dryer. If you want to check out what I got going on in here,
New one, yeah, man. Always.
just see what happens. I don't know if it's done yet, but we'll fucking fuck around and find out.
Let's fuck around and find out.
The trays are thin enough. It's been 24 hours. They gotta be dry.
That's a long time for it. Are you usually
Yeah,
running 24
typically
hours?
it depends on how many trays. I have 7 trays in my freeze dryer. This is a medium freeze dryer,
Okay.
but I took the 4 tray out and put a 7 tray in there. So when I hit
Okay.
7 trays that are super thick, it definitely takes 24 to 4, so it's 30 hours.
Right.
But let me see here. This card. Not
Ooh.
looking too bad. That's the Kush Mints. That looks like it's dry. Yep.
Yep. That's dry.
There's that one.
That all
There's
Cushman's?
nope. So I got Kush Mints, wash water. I think wedding cake on both these trays. Poison peaches, and then some OG. I've had some OG saved for the past fucking 2 years that I've been waiting to wash. So we'll see how it works out. I know OG is a real hard one.
Yeah, man. I've had some no good times. I remember I like first time Kev gave me the Royal F2 and I grew that out and it was so good. It smelled so good outdoors. It smelled like melted bike tires and washed it and it was just like I you could tell you'd made a horrible mistake. Oof. I love something like that. Yeah. Like it didn't that it didn't come out well and even the hash that did come out didn't come out well. Like it didn't the that melted bike tire did not transfer and um it was super disappointing. But I know the like later generations we definitely have pheno or they definitely have phenos in there that do better. Yeah, that's all
Guys,
super
what
dry.
this OG fucking definitely yielded decently, but I have a feeling it's not gonna press for shit.
Interesting. That's so interesting. I really want to know the numbers off the bag because like or off the press because I think that you know it's going to be compared to your other numbers. I'm interested to see what it comes in at. Did you grew it outdoors?
That one was our indoor, so it's Uprising OG
Yeah.
crossed with one that we named Steak OG because the guy who gave it to us, his nickname is Steakums, so we just call it Steak OG. But he had the cut of OG for 20 years, something like that, 15, 20 years. So
Interesting.
I figured it was only right to name it after him.
Sure.
Yeah. But the Uprising OG was fucking amazing. It was some of the best OG that we grew, but it definitely was a fingery pheno, and that never does good as flour when you try to trim that shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like my freeze dryer is done, so I'm staying up even longer getting this shit pressed out too.
Damn. Got to work. Got to do it while it's done.
Nobody else is gonna do it.
Nobody else can do it. That's right.
Yeah. But right on, brother. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely, bro.
And let me know when you got the next live. I'll hop on for sure.
I will for sure. Absolutely.
All right, brother.
Cheers.
Peace.
Peace.